and welcome back to the Aspiring Home Cook. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to put together a quick and easy cauliflower fried rice. Now this is a beautiful way to lighten up a meal. It uses cauliflower as the base in place of rice. So it makes it perfect for those of you who are trying to stay away from rice or trying to cut down on your carb intake. It's a quick and easy recipe and uses just a handful of ingredients. So let's head on over to the kitchen and get started. While you can use bags of cauliflower rice that you get at the shops these days, I'm going to show you how simple it is to make your very own using fresh cauliflower. And like you can see here, I've just used half or even a third depending on the size of the cauliflower head. And for convenience sake today, I'm using a bag of frozen vegetables. This is an assortment of vegetables. I won't be needing the entire bag. You can of course decide how much or how little you'd like to add into your fried rice. Now this is the stir-fry mixed vegetable pack from Aldi, and it has a mix of vegetables that works really well with the fried rice. Today's recipe makes enough for 2 adult portions. Feel free to adjust these quantities as needed. So I've got about a cupful of that mixed veg in here, and the only thing I'm going to do here is cut down those broccoli pieces into slightly smaller pieces to match the size of everything else that's going into the fried rice, just like so. In addition to this, I'm also going to use a couple of spring onions and a couple of large cloves of garlic. I'm just going to trim off those root ends and discard them and slice up the spring onions. We're going to be using both the white as well as the green portion. I'm going to cut a few slices really nice and thin and set these aside to use as a garnish later on, and cut the rest of the greens into slightly larger pieces to add to the fried rice. All I'm going to do is roughly chop up my garlic, and with that done, we're going to move on to prep our cauliflower rice. Now today I'm going to be using my food processor. If you don't have one, you can simply grate the cauliflower using a box grater. A food processor just makes this so much easier and saves on so much of time. So what you can see me doing here is just breaking that up into smaller florets, pop the lid on, and you're just going to run your food processor for a few seconds till that cauliflower breaks down and starts resembling grains of rice. I'll show you what it looks like at this stage. From here on, now it just depends on how fine or how chunky you'd like your cauliflower rice to be. I still have a few slightly larger pieces in there, so I'm just going to give it another quick whiz, and that's it. I've got a lovely portion of cauliflower rice. Now with all your prep done, you're ready to start with the cooking process. I'm using a large wok here. If you don't have a wok, make sure that you use a pan that's large enough to allow you to toss all of the ingredients really well. If you use a pan that's a little too small, the vegetables can turn slightly mushy, and it's the same for if you're using rice as well. Make sure you've got enough of area in that pan to move things around. That results in a really great fried rice. I've put in a little bit of peanut oil over here, and I'm going to straight away go in with the cauliflower rice. Now the beauty of using cauliflower as your rice substitute is you don't have to pre-cook it and wait for it to cool down. You simply put it from your food processor straight into a hot wok, and since these pieces are so little, they cook in minutes. Stir everything around, just make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan, and let this cook off for a couple of minutes, all the while making sure that you're stirring frequently. After that cauliflower has cooked off for a couple of minutes, I'm just going to check and make sure that it's done to my liking, it's tender enough. Now when the cauliflower is almost ready, I'm just going to make a little space in that pan, pour in a tiny bit more oil, about another spoon or so, and we're going to start adding our vegetables. First, I'm adding in the spring onions, and I'm going to give that a good stir. At this point, make sure that you've got the wok on a fairly high heat. In goes the garlic, and you can at this stage mix everything together. Now it's important to keep stirring while you're making this fried rice, like you would any other fried rice. We're going to add in our mixed vegetables to the pan next. Now this has a lovely assortment of baby corn, broccoli, carrot, some amount of carrot and capsicum as well, and some French bean. If you've got access to fresh vegetables, you can just choose to use an equivalent amount of fresh vegetables that you've chopped up. But I would recommend steaming them a little or sauteing them a little before you add it to the pan. Now we're simply going to stir everything through and let the vegetables warm through and finish cooking. Once your vegetables are tender and have cooked through to your liking, your cauliflower fried rice is almost ready. All that we've got to do now is season it. I'm going to start off by adding a touch of white pepper powder, Now this adds a beautiful flavor and a very mild touch of heat. You can use white pepper to taste over here. Now if you don't have white pepper, you can just as well use crushed black pepper too. You'll just have a more speckled version of the fried rice. And now we're going to add in some soy sauce. I've gone in with about 2 tablespoons, so thereabouts of soy. Start off with about 1 tablespoon first and taste as you go. If you're happy with that, you can stop it right there or add your second tablespoon, or really as much as you'd like. And this next step is optional, but I like to add a tiny bit of rice wine vinegar. Like I said, just a tiny splash, maybe about a teaspoon or so. This just balances the saltiness from the soy. We're going to stir everything through to make sure that the seasoning is well distributed, and you're almost done. At this point, you can taste your cauliflower fried rice just to make sure that everything is just the way you like it. Adjust your seasonings if needed, and you're done. Turn the heat off. You're now ready to plate up. Now, how quick and easy was that? This makes a beautiful light meal in itself and is fairly healthy because all you've used in there are veggies and some amount of seasoning. Yes, there's a little bit of oil, but I think it just adds to the flavor of the dish. And remember that if you'd like your fried rice a little more spicy, feel free to add a little chili or some chili sauce and toss that in as well. But this is just how I like my fried rice. I like to keep it basic, simple, and let the flavors of those vegetables come through. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of that spring onion that we had reserved earlier, just to dress things up a little. And there you have it. You've got a gorgeous bowl of cauliflower fried rice that comes together so quickly. You can serve this either by itself or as part of a larger Asian-inspired meal. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's quick and easy recipe. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with family and friends that you think might enjoy it too. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm going to see you really soon with another delicious recipe. So till then, take care. Bye.